Okay, hi guys, and welcome back to season two of If You Would Have Asked Me. So a lot has happened since season one. Um, I moved out of the basement and into a house, as everybody saw, like the shift in scenery last year. Um, I got a new job, so I was doing Uber Eats and also like working in retail. Um, Basically like all of last year. I think I worked at no, I know. I quit Hooters before last year started. Um, so yeah, last year I did retail and Uber Eats all year until the end of the year. When we moved into the house is when when we found out we were buying the house is when I got a new job as an event server, like 20 minutes away from where we live, right? I also started a website for If You Would Have Asked Me. Is it a consistent website yet? No. You can't see it, but the website plan and the vision is there. I'm just working on actively getting the motivation um and figuring out my brand and like just how I'm approaching everything. Um so I noticed that last year I put out about like 34 episodes, and so this year I'm hoping to do about like 20 to 30 or 20 to 40 episodes, and like that'll be considered this year's season. The 34 episodes last year, that was last year's season. There is going to be 20, at a minimum of 20, hopefully like 40 videos this year for this season. And I don't know, I guess they're just seasons of my life. You're kind of just like growing and flowing with me. It's been almost a year since my last relationship. So last year I don't want to say I jumped into a relationship, because I definitely was taking time because of my previous on and off relationship, but it was the first time I had like thought about moving on from that relationship prior. And oh, Pumpkin's not happy. Um but that last relationship that I was in, it was very much like we found each other in a time where we both needed each other and we were just there for each other for the time being. And I don't think it was ever supposed to be anything more than like us just being like, that was just our divine timing, was to be in each other's lives at those times so that way we could get to the moments that we are at now. And like the way that like I was loved by him did heal a lot of the ways that I wasn't loved in that relationship prior. So like I don't want to say I jumped into it, like, because I did like fully awarely like take into account like what I was doing, but I knew that like I had to realize that I could be loved this way because I was not loved like this previously. And not being able to give myself that love back like was literally like bed rotting every day. Like I just was not motivated. I was not doing anything. I met this guy, and like for the first time ever, like he didn't make me feel like I owed him anything. And like it was just like we were friends, and like we were each other's friends, and like that was like the only intention. And I don't really think I got a friend out of my relationship previous. I think that it was very much like a I love you and I see all of these amazing things for us. Are you ready? And it was like, no, I'm not ready. And it was like, okay, well, I'm going to move on with my life then. And then it was like, well, wait, don't go. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like, I don't know. That was never going to work. And like the way that he naturally moved about that was the proof to me that like that was never going to work. And like that's honestly like the way that people naturally move is how I deem a lot of things in my life. And so we're gonna get into that into a later episode. Do you want to look through the window? Oh, is she getting it? Oh, go on. But yeah, no, we're gonna have a later episode. That's probably gonna be the first like full episode. Is gonna be us talking about paying attention to the way that people naturally move rather than like what they say and like taking them as they show themselves to you. Um but like and like because of like that specific mindset, like I have like lost friends, I've gained friends, I've tried to crawl back to that previous ex that I was talking about. And like when I say crawl, I'm talking like like crawl, like sending love letters and arguing with the new talking stage, like uh things that I had never expected myself to do, I was doing, and like I was doing them before I could even realize. So like just taking a second to hone in on the healing that needed to come from that, and just really taking a second to hone in on like the brand in itself, and like who I am, and like what I really want in life, and like what I'm okay with saying about myself. And I feel like for such a long time, like I was really scared to say that I was like a content creator. You guys can hear me because I ain't got no teeth. Okay, so like sometimes if I'm rotting and you hear a little extra in my s, that's why. Basically, I've been branding. I've been thinking a lot about like where I want this podcast to go, and I've been like putting into action kind of like the ways that I want it to go. So even if I'm not being consistent, like with everything actively, at least I'm setting up a path for a future me to start being consistent, I guess is the way that I'm seeing it. But like I'm also just like I'm realizing that there's different parts of life that because I was into like relationships that I took very seriously prior to like this year, there's a lot of experiences that I like have not went out and grasped and experienced. And I'm going to be honest, you can't discover yourself staying in the same room. So I'm really trying with everything in my power not to like bed rot, because that was like when I lost myself, was when I just for some reason could not get the motivation to get out of bed and just do something about it. And even if it came down to like just recording, and like recently like I haven't even felt like recording, but that's why like I know I go through these phases where I really just don't want to be like recording like this. And that's why like I came up with like, okay, well then maybe it would be smarter to just kind of have seasons and like let it be known that like all of these episodes, like they aren't going to come out in like a consistent pattern of timing. Just know that by the end of this year, you'll get 20 episodes from me. So like when you're thinking about it, go ahead and check in, because like I'm genuinely doing all of this at the flow of my own life. Like I'm not like going to over like I'm 21 for reference. I'm not going to overindulge myself when I am blessed enough to take it slow. Like I'm not going to rush myself, and I'm not going to put a million pounds of weight on my back when like I know it's okay for me to take it slow right now, because like the thing like what I want to accomplish takes a lot of in-depth and like smart decisions. And so like I'm willing to take the time that it requires to make those decisions, so I can confidently stand on where I'm going in my life. And like I'm saying all this because I think it's important to give you guys some perspective on my life recently, and kind of just the person that I am and like the way that I approach things, because like last year I think I had 25 subscribers. I've got 118 subscribers now, which like though like that might not seem like a big jump, like that's a very large jump for me. From talking to 20 in a room full of 25 people to talking in a room full of 118 people, like that's a lot of pressure, because that's 118 lives that can cause a chain reaction. Like, okay, lit. That's not terrifying. Um, and so I just wanted to kind of like emphasize the importance of seeing different perspectives in life and making sure that you're fully understanding the perspective that you're viewing things from. Because like I really wouldn't want anyone to get it confused. Like I am a content creator, and I am displaying my real life online. Like it is my own personal realistic flow, and like literally I guess like you could say my niche is being able to go through life confidently enough to know that even though I'm not achieving everything that I thought I would be achieving, that's not an excuse to bed rot. Does that mean that I'm going to be perfect and get something done that I should be getting done every day? No. But that does mean that like I'm going to set myself up so that way like when I get that motivation, like I don't have to worry about getting everything together cuz like it's already together. Like I am slowly building that path so I can be consistent. And that's okay with me. Like everyone says it takes time. So I just have to remind myself and like also just make sure that everybody that's watching knows like let it take time. Because I think it's important to be realistic on the flow of things. What people a lot of people I feel like don't understand is when like things are being dropped, like don't think that like they came up with that idea. Like sometimes there's those really creative and really like enthusiastic people who can get things done in a week span of time, and like it's amazing. Not me. Not me, never will be me. I like a slow pace. Like I like to just let things live. And I feel like a lot of people feel like we're running out of time, and that's why we're all trying to like rush our lives. But if you take the time to really like look at your perspective and look about what you're caring about and looking at the actions that you're taking and seeing like the differences that you do make and making sure that you are pushing those differences out there, I genuinely think that it's a lot easier to appreciate that you do have time. Yeah, we might die tomorrow. So at least, like, even if you have no motivation, do one small thing that sets you up for the past to be consistent in the future, if that future may come. Don't live life like it's not going to come, because then when it does come, you're going to be so unprepared. I feel like a lot of people like stall their lives because, oh, we're worried the world's going to end. Stop being scared that the world's going to end and act like it'll never will. If you treat the world like it will never end, but when I'm saying like treat the world like it'll never end, I mean like appreciating each other and the earth, like we're going to have to be here stuck with each other for the rest of our lives, so we should be taking care of each other. That is what I mean when I'm saying when I'm saying that. So basically, welcome back to If You Would Have Asked Me. Season 2, Era 2, Life 2, whatever the heckin' chicken tenders you want to call it. Yeah. And this is the year that I think that you guys are really going to fully be able to understand me rather than like everything. Like, I feel like last year I was super hesitant about what I was posting. This year, because of probably some of the same fears that people aren't doing things, is going to be the same reason that I am doing things. I am not going to let fear run me this year. Like, my voice will be fucking heard. And if you don't think it will, that's just because you're not listening. But it's okay because somebody else is. I never said I had to be heard by everybody. I am literally just doing what I'm called to do to help heal what I can. And that is it. Like, it is what I'm called to do by like my soul. Like that's like where we're going and what we're going to do. And if anybody has a problem with it, you can leave a comment and you can go ahead and let me know what your problem is. And I will be absolutely so happy to dive into that little problem that you have with me, and we can go even deeper on it. And we can see where that's rooted. Like, and if it's a me thing or if it's a you thing. Because, like, there's a difference. And I'm not going to play these games with you. 21 years old, haven't started studying for the bar yet, but I will pass the bar exam one day. Fashion enthusiastic, whatever the word is, I don't know. I don't ever talk right, anyways. Cat lover, event server, occasional model. I'm trying to think, but like, yeah, no, that's me. I don't have no professional qualifications. If you feel like you need to seek help after you listen or hear any of my videos, please do so. Because I know that we occasionally get into some real ass shit, and I get it, and I be seeking help in my friends and family all the time, so don't ever feel ashamed to seek for help. But like, also, don't abuse your help because that's when shit hits the fan. Um, and I really only ever do first cuts. So first cut, last cut, that's gonna be the video that's gonna be up in the next week or so. So see you guys in a week or so later, taters. I hope that we enjoyed my welcome back video. I hope that it's. I bet you if I keep talking, then it will get awkward. So I'm gonna go. Bye.